Hey guys, Josh Henkin here, creator of the Ultimate Sandbag Core Training System with Jessica Bento, Senior Physical Therapist. What we wanted to do is, over the time, we've shown you a lot of ways to use the Ultimate Sandbag. But what we want to do is show you how to integrate with other great functional fitness tools. Because overall, you're going to eventually use other implements with your Ultimate Sandbag Training. So we want to show you how there's so much synergy and complementary aspects to these functional fitness tools. Today we're going to look at kettlebells and the Ultimate Sandbag. So one thing that really I get disheartened about with kettlebells is people get stuck in just doing a few exercises. One of the big things that attracted me to kettlebell training was the vast amount of movement patterns you could create with kettlebells, similar to what you could do with the Ultimate Sandbag, and creating a lot of different movements, training stability, strength, endurance, and a whole other aspects. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple ways you can manipulate your favorite kettlebell drills, mix them in with the Ultimate Sandbag, and have a really powerful workout. So what Jessica's going to demonstrate first is what we call a tactical lunge swing. So what she's going to do before she gets into it, the reason we're doing this, we're taking the classic kettlebell swing and adding a lateral component to it and also a single leg component to it. So really adding diversity and giving you more value for your lighter kettlebells. So Jessica, go ahead and do a few repetitions. Nice. So what she's doing is by stepping back, the movement becomes a single leg pull. So all the swings, cleans, and snatches in kettlebell training are actually hamstring and glute exercises that are being done by predominantly hinging at the hips. However, you can also do the movement by transitioning into a reverse lunge. Nice job, Jessica. And relax. However, what you're going to find out is over time, you only have a couple options. You can do more reps or go up in weight. But you can also change the complexity of the movement and get more out of your swing exercise. By passing it between the legs, her body has stabilized in the frontal plane far more, and by learning how to drive off to the hip, she's getting a lot more feedback through the whole connect chain of her lower body to her trunk and hips. What we're going to do next is she's going to take her Ultimate Sandbag and do a staggered shoulder press. So similar to what we just did, by going into our stagger position, the back toes are even with the front heel, we're placing her in a slightly unstable position. Going shoulder to shoulder press, now she's also having to stable in that frontal plane. Most pressing exercises are only up and down. By doing this, she's getting a push on the outside arm and then a pull down the opposite. Now, being slightly unstable too, her trunk has to stabilize differently depending upon which shoulder the bag is on. So her core is working hard, her glutes are firing off, her lats are working, and she's getting a great upper body workout. Nice job, Jess. Now what we're going to do is look at another complementary exercise in the kettlebell training that a lot of people have forgotten about, which is the windmill. So Jessica, go and grab a bell. We're going to get in position for the windmill. Now there's a couple things I love about the windmill. Obviously we're getting great stability in the shoulder joint, but we're also learning how to hinge at a different angle. So this is still a hinging movement that you would see in swings and cleans, but it's just a slightly different angle. And we're also learning how to stabilize in that frontal plane. The frontal plane is one of those planes of movement along with the transverse plane that we don't train enough in, and we definitely have weaknesses and prone to injury on because of our movement compensations and not training this pattern. She's doing a great job of looking up, keeping that elbow locked, and doing a good job of moving away from the arm rather than just flopping away. She's hinging back on that hip. The next thing we're going to do is a lateral lunge with a sandbag. Now, again, the lateral lunge is predominantly a frontal plane exercise. Again, a lot of people have problems in both mobility and strength in this plane. Spinal research specialist Dr. Stuart McGill says the lateral lunge is one of the best exercises for turning on those glutes. And turning on the glutes is one of the best way to prevent low back injuries. Going in the Zercher position gives her a chance to have load, but a little more stable position. If we want to increase the challenge of this, she's going to put it on the same shoulder as the leg she's stepping out with. So now she's got a little more frontal plane stability to deal with, and this weight feels now heavier on her torso and her hip when she's going into that lateral lunge. Nice job, Jessica. We'll settle down. So we've done a lot of pushing, we're going to have to do some pulling. So Jessica's going to grab 2 kettlebells for this drill. She's going to do a double kettlebell row with actually holding an isometric hold at the top. So she's going to begin by pulling both bells in, lowering one down, pulling it back up, down the other. The nice thing about this version is it works on her isometric upper body strength, something again we negate in a lot of our training programs, and she's working on isometric strength in the low back. Again, Dr. McGill will tell you low back health is due to endurance, not maximal strength. And relax, Jessica. Good. Our last drill in this series, and the whole point of this is to do this in a circuit fashion, and we'll outline how you can do this in a program really easily, is to do grab our sandbag again. Now, I do have to tell you, if you're using our Power Ultimate Sandbag, it's different than our Strengths. If you're using our Power Ultimate Sandbags, because of the dimension and the weight that's capable of, you can pull on the ends. If you're using one of the bigger bags, you definitely want to grab on the top handles to avoid ripping off the sides because there's a significantly amount more weight. However, what you're going to see in a moment is a little bit of weight goes a long ways with this drill. So maybe you've seen the plank drill done side to side. The great thing about our plank drill and plank pulls is that they can be done forward and back too. Now this creates a different stress upon the torso, and what she can do is, if the bag is too light before she goes heavier, she can just move her feet closer together, reduce her base support. So this becomes a really challenging drill. And what we're going to do is find is there's going to be a different side to side depending upon which arm is pulling upwards and which arm is pulling back. Now she did a great job in staying in alignment. When you go through these movements, because there's a lot of single leg or unilateral components to them, you're actually doubling up your work. So you can either do less rounds of it, or you can do one side during one round and the next side during the next round to manage your fatigue levels. Because we're adding complexity of these movement patterns, you can fatigue quite quickly. So I hope you enjoy these drills. We're going to come back for some more training videos of how to combine the Ultimate Sandbag with other great functional fitness tools, and visit us at ultimatesandbagtraining.com.